Hi guys! Guess where we are at? We're back at the Pioneer Cemetery, the old Pioneer Cemetery in Idaho City. Only this time I have a brochure and I can give you more detailed stories on the graves. How cool is that? But look how beautiful it is out, guys. Beautiful. I love the forest. So yeah, let's go check it out. I'm excited. So this is what it says about it. Pioneer Cemetery. Early in 1863, Pioneer Cemetery was established on this 40-acre site. The Masons and the Oddfellows set aside portions of the central area for their members. The higher ground to the north was designated for Catholics, and the low southeastern area for the Chinese. Convicted murderers and other outcasts were buried outside the cemetery's eastern edge. Ooh. An estimated 3,000 graves are scattered throughout these acres. Of the first 200 graves, only 28 died of natural causes. Wow. Yep, we're in a gunslinging pioneer town. How cool is that? True history here. Not like the movies. Approximately 200 grave markers still stand, and many of those have been repaired and restored. Although the cemetery is owned by the Idaho City, is dedicated nonprofit organization dedicated to its preservation. Anyways, that's that, but I'm going to get to the pamphlet and we're going to go check out these graves. All right, guys, I found the first grave that's in the pamphlet. So I'm going to tell you the story about it. I'm just going to show you these pretty flowers real quick. Thorn. Francine, Vivian, and Rupert. This one's for Rupert, the story. He was born in 1899 in Idaho City. Rupert was the son of Vivian Thorn. As a boy, he built a model of the Titanic. That's crazy. Which is displayed in the Boise Basin Museum. I'll have to check that out. Rupert used to carry the mail into Banner from Idaho City in the winter on skis or snowshoes. It was about a 40-mile undertaking. Wow. 40-mile undertaking. Snowshoes in the winter. So yeah, that's the first story, guys. Let's go look for the second story. All right, guys, I found story number 2. Check this out. Look at that gate. Isn't that crazy? That is so cool. This one is called the Jones Day Family Plot. Jones/Day Family Plot. And I don't think I'm going to go in. Looks like somebody tied it shut, so I don't see why we couldn't go in, but somebody tied it shut for a reason. But yeah, here's the family plot. And it says, Herman Jones was an early publisher of the Idaho World. The Jones and families were the publishers of the Idaho World for many years. If you guys don't know, which you probably don't, the Idaho World was the first newspaper here in Idaho City. And I think it still runs. Charles Jones was the last to run it before suspending publication in 1918. Oh, so maybe they don't have it anymore. I thought they did. Anyways, 1918, he stopped publication. The paper was reserved as the Idaho World by Tom Adams at the time of the celebration of the Idaho Territorial Centennial in 1963. So yeah, it's a story. Not the most interesting story. The graves are cool, though. Look at that. There's like a little walkway when you come through the gate. That's cool. Yep, Jones Day Family Plot, in charge of the newspaper in town. All right, let's go find number 3. Thought I'd show you some of these graves on my hike as we're looking for number 3. Very cool through here, guys. Beautiful old Pioneer Cemetery. Graves from 1800s, early 1800s. Like, look at that old fencing right there. Isn't that cool? These trees were probably tiny when they were buried. Now they're huge, 200-year-old trees. Some of them go right through the graves. This is interesting. Looks like one of those horse tire, where you tie a horse up to. Tie a horse. Yeah, look at that. It's probably a gravestone, though. I'm sure it's a grave marker. It just looks like those ones that were in front of Warm Springs, some of the homes. Check out this one, guys. This one's cool. This one is carved right out of the tree that was here. So it's not like it was carved somewhere else and then placed here. You can still see the tree with the roots. Very cool. Somebody still takes very good care of these graves. Very neat. Coming from an old pioneer town. Somewhere the gated graves. Keep the grave robbers out. Which really doesn't make any sense because it'd be fairly easy just to jump these gates. So I'm not quite sure. It might just be for decoration. But look how the graves are sunken in, guys. They're so old, they're sunken in. And as you can see, these graves go on forever. Awesome. All right, let's find number 3. Haven't found it yet, but check all these out, guys. Neat. 3 should be right up here somewhere. These 2 trees, look at this. They were probably tiny when the person was buried. Just for decor, plant a couple little trees. And look how they've grown. That's crazy. Beautiful. Okay, I found number 3. Look how big that gravestone is. His name's Peter Donahue. Let's see what he did. I haven't read any of these stories ahead of time, so I'm learning this just like you guys are. 1829 to 1908. All right, let's see what it says. Peter Donahue was a wealthy miner from Ireland. He is an example of many Irishmen who came to the West in search of gold and to avoid the Civil War. Donahue left no family, but has the largest headstone in the cemetery. Oh, no wonder it looks so big. It's the largest one. Supposedly because an administrator of his estate received a commission based on the expenses of his estate. The larger the headstone meant more money for the administrator. Oh my goodness, that's funny. I get the same amount of money that I spend on his, what's the word? His, I don't know, the money he earned throughout his life. Estate. That's funny. Because it's huge, guys. This probably doesn't do it justice, but it's pretty big. All right, let's go find number 4. Found it. Number 4. Let's see what this one's about. Hard to read. Bridget Gorman. Beloved wife of John Gorman. All right, let's see. She was only 35 years old. All right, it says, Bridget Gorman was the young wife of John Gorman, the Boise County Sheriff in Idaho City's early years. Oh, wow. So this was the wife of the sheriff. Imagine that, guys. The sheriff in town back in the 1800s. In a gold mine town where there's a lot of shooting and killing. So her husband was the sheriff. She was only 35. It doesn't say how she died, but it says her stone is said to be the finest Italian marble in the cemetery and is the only stone with a chiseled log cross. Oh, wow. So, makes you wonder that, how much you loved her going all out like this. But you just never know. You could have been the one that killed her and just wanted to show off. You just never know. But yeah, interesting story. Finest marble in the cemetery. No wonder it's held up. She died in 1878. Let's see what this says. Rest in peace, basically. Wow. All right, let's go look for number 5. Okay, number 5. Really cool gating again. A lot of headstones that are, you can tell they've fallen off and crumbled, or it's definitely a family plot. Just showing you some of these crumbled old ones here. Look. Like that was probably a headstone. And then there lay rest right there. Okay, this one's about Matthias Zapp. 6 months, 2 days, 28 days. I don't know. Let's see what the story says. Matthias Zapp operated... No, so he probably wasn't 6 months old. Matthias Zapp operated the Corner Saloon in the early days of Idaho City. Like the name suggests, the saloon was located at the corner of Main and Wall Streets. Okay. So this guy and his family was the saloon owner. Isn't that crazy? Imagine just having a time machine, going back, checking out all these people. You'd see the saloon. You'd walk into the saloon and see this guy. You'd, walk down the street and see the sheriff and see his wife before she died at 35. Just interesting stuff. All right, let's keep going. Let's go find number 6. A lot of people are afraid or feel weird walking through a graveyard, but not me. Maybe at night it'd be a little weird, but I doubt it. Excuse me. All right. So, okay, I'm on a crossroads here. Let's see. Let's keep going down this way. Yeah. Just showing you guys how beautiful it is out here. Heading to find number 6. Number 6. Haven't found number 6 yet, but I just came across this little infant grave that I wanted to show you. It's got its own little fence around it. It's just tiny. Infant son of Nelson and Ella. Born February 4th. Died... I can't read it. How sad. Teeny tiny gravestone, teeny tiny fence, teeny tiny plot. Okay guys, I walked way past number 6. A little confusing around here. But I found number 15. It's unmarked, but there's a cool story to it. His name was Edward Holbrook. No longer has an identifiable grave. A headboard in his honor is on display at the library or at the museum. He was a lawyer and he helped organize Idaho's Democratic Party. He was Idaho's 2nd territorial delegate to Congress and Speaker of the House. Due to a political dispute, Holbrook was killed in a gunfight. So basically, where you take the paces and turn around and shoot? That's crazy. He was killed in a gunfight on Main Street in 1870 after the Republican candidate that he supported for sheriff won the election. Charles Douglas, a close associate, had supported the defeated Democratic candidate and was furious. He denounced Holbrook as a traitor. The 2 men met in Idaho City and a gunfight ensued. 11 shots were fired and Holbrook was killed. Wow. That's genuine history right there, guys. Gunfight in the Old West. Just wanted to show you guys this tree growing right out from underneath this grave, like I was telling you. And then it's just kind of interesting how it says unknown. Unknown. Somebody put some little bears down there, though. But yeah, this tree's huge. Right in the middle of the grave. Alright, guys. Still no number 6. But I did find number 11. 2-wire cribs is what it's called. Look at that. It's like somebody custom built those cribs, those wire cribs. Walter Henry and Anna Ansley. These wire cribs mark the graves of 2 infant children of the Runyon family. The infants were Walter, who died in August 1873, and Anna, who died 5 years later in 78. Anna's epithet reads, "Sleep on, sweet babe, and take thy rest. God calls thee home. He thought it best." Interesting. There's a little Barbie down here. So she was 5 months old and 8 days. It doesn't say here. Since it has only one day too, he might have died or he might have been born not alive. Yeah, isn't that interesting, guys? 1873 and 1878. Wow. Okay, I finally stumbled upon number 6 when I was looking for number 10. But it's pretty interesting. Mary Penny. If you notice, the gate around her grave is very elegant and beautiful. She was the wife of James Penny and the closest link to Boise City in the cemetery. That's where she lays, right there. She died at the age of 25 in 1869. Her grave is surrounded by elegant wrought iron enclosure that I was just showing you. Beautiful. With lambs resting under trees. Let's see, where's the lambs? Oh, here we go. Lambs resting under the tree. Oh, neat. So he purposely designed that for her. 25 years old, guys. After her death, her husband went to Boise, where he became the mayor and was considered the father of modern Boise because of his progressive politics. Wow. 25 years old. Doesn't say how she died. That's basically the story I just told you right there. Yep, Mary Penny. A lot of sadness around this grave. He went on to do good things, though. This grave is very interesting, guys. This is J. Marion Moore. He's the guy that Moore's Creek is named from. We cross Moore's Creek Bridge all the time to come here. I have a video on Moore's Creek that you can look at. Anyways, this is his grave. And his story is pretty interesting. He's the person, well, I just said all that. He was killed in a gunfight, another one of those gunfights. But this one was in Silver City over a mining dispute. You can look it up, look the story up online. It's pretty interesting. Yep, there he lays. J. Marion Moore. He was only 38. Gunfight in Silver City, which is very far from here. So for them to bring his body all the way here on a horse and carriage is crazy. All right, let's check out another one. Another grave where the trees have grown through. Unknown. All right, guys, this one's my favorite story. Number 10. This is the last story that I'm going to tell you. We found most of the graves, but I think lacking maybe two or three that weren't that interesting anyways. Anyways, this is number 10. This is Anna Galbraith, or Galbraith. Was the daughter of the family that owned the Luna House in Idaho City. It was the grandest hotel. It burned down in 1927. She was only 16 in 1879 when she and her friends went to a dance in Banner, Idaho. Anna broke her neck after being thrown or jumping from a wagon as it ascended a steep summit. So in other words, she was coming home from a dance on a wagon with her friends. I just like the story because it's like, man, that stuff still happens today, but this would be wagon days, you know? Coming home from a dance on a wagon. The wagon veers off the road, off a cliff, and she jumps or was pushed and broke her neck and died. 16 years old. It says that virtually all of Idaho City was in the streets when Anna's body was brought into town. Wow. So this is obviously a family plot. The gate's not locked. So let's go check it out. Let's go find Anna. 16 years old. Ooh, that's cool. Cool sounding. Galbraith. There she is. Anna. May 25th, 1881. No, that's not her. This is a different Anna. She was aged 1 year and 3 months and 11 days. Wow. 1881. 1879. So basically, this Anna was born 3 years after the Anna that died on the wagon. I wonder if they were trying to name their daughter, their new daughter Anna as well, and she only lived to be a year old. Wow. Okay, here she is. This is the biggest one in the whole family plot. Look how pretty that is, guys. It's got the roses and the curtain. It says sleeping. Born 1863, died 1879. See if you can read that, guys. Yeah, this one's the most interesting grave to me. This one and the Moore grave. Pretty interesting. Just the stories behind them, you know. Gunfights over mining, dying from carriage crashes, shootouts in the street. Very cool. Yeah, that one you can't keep open. It kind of... There it goes. All right, guys. Well, that's the old Idaho Penitentiary, or sorry, old Idaho Cemetery in Idaho City. A lot more to look at, too. Fun, fun. Have a wonderful day. Back on track here. That was a good video. I'm proud of it.